John, this might sound harsh, but we have to say it. Most people listening right now, they're bleeding money. They're not even aware it's happening. Where's the leak, and why is it so invisible?
Mike, this is the perfect way to start because it hits every single one of us. Yes, you listening right now. You're probably thinking, I'm doing okay. But let me ask you something. Do you know exactly where your money went last month? Every dollar? No? That's the leak. It's silent. It's constant. It's deadly. We're living in an economy where small daily decisions, a subscription here, a delivery fee there, stack up and strangle your future. In 2025, it's not just inflation that's hurting you. It's ignorance. It's autopilot. If you don't track it, it owns you. This chapter is your wake-up call. You're bleeding money, and this episode might be your only tourniquet.
All right, John, you got our attention, but give us something real. What's one budgeting mistake that's actually costing us hundreds, maybe even thousands, every single month?
I'll give you 7 today, but let's start with one that kills quietly. No spending plan. Not a budget, a plan. Most people build budgets like diets. Don't spend here, cut there. But a real plan is proactive. It tells your money where to go, not just what not to do. Let me break it down. You grab coffee on the go, skip meal prep, impulse buy online, overpay on insurance, auto-renew and used apps, ignore energy usage, never compare prices, boom. That's over $1,000 a month. Easy. And if you're not managing this, you're basically working for someone else. Every hour you grind at your job, it just disappears.
Let's be real, John. A lot of people say budgeting feels like punishment, like it means they've failed. How do we get over that?
That's the emotional landmine, Mike. Budgeting in our minds is tied to restriction, to lack. But let me flip the script. Budgeting is freedom. It's not about saying no to everything. It's about saying yes to the things that matter. Here's a challenge to everyone listening. What if your budget was a permission slip? A declaration of what you deserve? A budget is not a cage, it's a weapon, a sword. And in 2025, you need weapons to survive the economic war we're living through. And if you think it's too late, if you feel ashamed, that feeling is proof you care. That's the beginning of power. Let's use it.
You've mentioned before this thing called zero-based budgeting. Sounds intense. What is it, and why does it work in today's brutal economy?
Zero-based budgeting is survival mode done right. Every dollar has a job. Nothing floats. Nothing disappears. It's not about being perfect, it's about being in control. Picture this, you start the month with $4,000. Instead of just paying bills and guessing the rest, you give every single dollar a purpose. Rent? Assigned. Groceries? Assigned. Savings? Yes, even that. Every dollar gets a mission. And when you do this, you stop bleeding money. You stop feeling like your life is spiraling. This system is what saved me, and I've seen it save marriages, mental health, and futures. If you think this isn't for you, it's especially for you.
Let's talk about emergencies. 2025 has already hit hard. Layoffs, rising costs, global instability. How do you build a cushion when it feels like you're already drowning?
Let me talk straight to the listener right now. If you don't have an emergency fund, you're not prepared, you're exposed. One flat tire, one ER visit, one missed paycheck, and the dominoes fall. Start small. $500 in a separate account is not impossible. Sell something. Cut 3 things. Pause entertainment. You're not giving up fun, you're buying safety. You're buying peace. That $500 can mean the difference between panic and calm. And here's the truth, you're not just budgeting for bills. You're budgeting for survival. For dignity. For control when the world around you loses it.
This one's for the couples. Budgeting together is hard. What if one person's on board and the other just doesn't want to deal?
This is emotional territory, Mike. Money isn't math, it's trust, fear, power. You can't force alignment with spreadsheets. You need empathy. Start with goals, not the numbers. Ask your partner, what do you want our life to feel like? What would peace look like? What do you want for our kids, our future? Once you're dreaming together, budgeting becomes building together. I've seen couples go from resentment to unity with one hard but honest talk. Don't budget in silence. Speak, listen, build.
All right, John, let's go deep. What if someone listens to all this and still does nothing?
Then nothing changes until everything collapses. Look, doing nothing is a decision. A dangerous one. You keep bleeding money. Debt creeps up. Stress becomes chronic. Your goals fade. You lose time, and time is the one thing money can't buy back. But here's the beauty: action doesn't have to be massive. It just has to be real. One change, one tracked week, one canceled subscription. That's all it takes to shift momentum. You don't need a miracle. You just need to start. Right now. Because no one's coming to save you, but that's okay. You've got this. And we've got you.
John, this has been powerful. But before we wrap, what's the last thing you want to leave our listeners with?
I want to say this directly to the person who made it this far: you're not alone. You're not broken. You're just overwhelmed, and this podcast is your first step out of it. Subscribe. Not because we need numbers, but because you need support. You need strategy. You need to be reminded every week your financial future is worth fighting for. And next episode, we're going deep into debt traps, how they're designed to keep you poor, and how to fight back. If you've ever felt stuck, like you'll never get out of debt, that next one's for you. We're not done. We're just getting started.